Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday. Tonight, nearly 100 large wildfires are straining firefighting resources nationwide. More than 30,000 personnel, some 1,800 engines, and more than 220 helicopters are deployed in the fight against the flames. The big fires right now raging in the west. The fire danger exploding this weekend in western Canada. One official describing the inferno as a bomb going off. And CBS's Gwen Baumgardner is in Los Angeles tracking it all, and she leads us off tonight. Gwen, good evening to you.
Good evening, Tom. Hot, dry conditions like this are gripping much of the west, and that's extending all the way into British Columbia, where these conditions, coupled with high erratic winds, are fueling dangerous wildfires. In Summerland, British Columbia, 20,000 residents raced to evacuate under red fiery skies as the explosive Bald Range fire took hold of homes along this mountainside.
I don't know whether my house is gone or still there or not, but that fire came so fast and furious.
Officials liken the devastation to a bomb going off, quickly declaring a state of emergency. More than 100 active wildfires are underway in the province of British Columbia, with half classified as out of control and more evacuations expected.
Some people became trapped as conditions changed very quickly and needed to be rescued. It remains a very dynamic and threatening situation.
Across the border, residents in Spokane, Washington know those threats firsthand after a series of devastating wildfires torched more than 900 homes. While crews continue to make progress, hotspots remain a concern in Spokane. Late today, authorities allowed some residents to return home, or rather, to what's left.
I know I feel kind of more emotional just at seeing it. It didn't seem like it could be real, and it is real.
Throughout the Pacific Northwest, severe drought is fueling more than 40 uncontained fires.
You couple that with the red flag weather and fire danger weather, and you get that explosive fire growth, that explosive fire behavior.
And in Utah, these were the conditions two pilots faced in a deadly helicopter crash as they were fighting the Wide Mouth 2 fire. The firefight continues. And here in Los Angeles, residents are bracing for this continued wildfire season. In just the past 24 hours, we've seen 3 large fires break out that have threatened homes and highways. Tom?
A dangerous situation, Gwen, thank you. And as for possible relief, the heat this weekend has been searing for nearly 100 million Americans. Let's get right on over to CBS News meteorologist Andrew Kozak. Andrew?
Yeah, Tom, good evening. We would love to find some relief, but unfortunately that heat continues. The dry air continues with single-digit relative humidity levels. So we've got elevated fire danger, dry thunderstorms. Those are storms with a lot of lightning, a little rain. And then, of course, the poor air quality for those folks suffering from the wildfires and the heat in the Pacific Northwest. Not only unhealthy air for people with respiratory issues, but for everybody. Unfortunately, that continues into the week ahead. Not only do we have the heat alerts for the West, but now that's spreads across the Midwest and the Central Plains, places like St. Louis and Memphis. And even if you're not underneath any heat alerts, we have places like Albuquerque, New Mexico, which may set some new records heading into your Sunday night. We also are watching thunderstorms. Chicago, as we speak, dealing with some severe weather. Tomorrow, that starts to shift a little further east for places like Indianapolis and eventually over toward places like Pennsylvania and the Ohio Valley. And finally tonight, let's talk about Saharan dust. You may remember back in June of 2020, we called it the Godzilla plume. Well, this continues. Sahara dust moving in from Africa. Those are collapsing thunderstorms, and that will move across the Caribbean and reduce visibility in places like Florida for the week ahead. Tom?
All right, Andrew Kozak for us tonight. Andrew, thank you.